I don't smoke, and people who use this car don't smoke inside the car. I know that because I'm a driving instructor, so I'm sitting with people who use it. Yet it stinks of cigarettes. And I've owned the car since new. So how has that happened? Well, this thing up here, the headliner, it started to sag. And the frustrating thing is it started to sag when the car was under warranty, but I only ever noticed it when I was sitting in the back, and by the time I got out of the car, I'd forgotten about it and I never did anything about it. The car's 9.5 years old now and the warranty has long expired. It was getting so bad though that I noticed it whilst I was sitting here now. So I thought, right, I need to do something about this. So I went to the dealer, new one of these, £650. I found a used one online for £100. Trouble is, it was in Manchester. I thought, it's worth it. A day's driving, I'll listen to some podcasts. £60 in fuel, so it's £160 in total. Good, job done. On the way back though, I had it in the car and the car was starting to smell of cigarettes. And I was thinking, damn it, I've wasted my time and money. But when I got home, my other half was positive. She's like, surely you can get rid of that smell. She thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. Put it in the bathtub, cleaned it once a day for 5 days, letting it dry out between cleans. And the smell had gone. I thought, great, I've solved the problem. So next opportunity I had, I took my old headliner out and put the used one in. That was very clean. But next time I went to get in the car, strong smell of cigarettes. So in an enclosed, small enclosed area with the sun beating down on the car, the smell came back. But I didn't want to give up just yet. Although if I can't get rid of this smell, I am going to replace it with a new one. I'm not going to put up with the smell. One of the reasons why I spent the extra money buying a brand new car, even though it's not brand new now, but it still kind of is to me, I'm the first owner, is that I don't inherit the previous habits, or should I say the habits of the previous owner. I don't inherit those. But I've just given myself a habit from a previous owner, not of the car, but of one of the components, from cheaping out and not buying a new headliner. But I'm still going to try and get rid of the smell. I tried this. This didn't work. This is Auto Glim Odour Eliminator. £10 from Halfords. I was quite pleased because it said here, or it says here, eliminates bad odours and leaves your car with a fresh smelling interior. I thought, that's good. Eliminates bad odours. I don't want to cover them up. I want to get rid of them. So I sprayed this all over the roof liner, but it's a spray. So it didn't only go on the roof liner, it went all over the glass and it dripped down inside the car, made a complete mess, and I don't think it smells very good. And the smell was so strong after using a whole bottle of one of these, probably not recommended in one go, but I had a big piece to do. The smell was so strong I couldn't get inside the car for a day. On the second day I could barely hack it. By the third day I could get in the car, and then I had to clean the interior down the glass before I could drive it. That took 2 hours, and then I spent another couple of hours cleaning the headliner again because it made the headliner a slightly darker colour. And I could use the car again, but the smell of this gradually faded over the course of 2 weeks, and the smell of cigarettes gradually replaced the smell of this. Now I can't smell this at all, I can just smell cigarettes. One last attempt at solving this smell before I just go and buy a new one of these, and that's if I can get one. The dealer, well, often they say it's this much money, but when you go to buy something, sometimes it's like, oh yeah, but it's on back order. That's the word they use, which basically means they don't know if they're going to get it or if they're ever going to get it. Hopefully this is still available, or even more so, hopefully I can get rid of the smell. So I've done some research. AirVidox or Vidox, this is supposed to eliminate the smell, not just cover it up. It looks like serious stuff. Powder. You mix these two powders together in this, and you add 60 ml of water, shake it up and leave it in the car for 8 hours. So I'll show you how to do it. It says here it's chlorine dioxide, which I think is a form of bleach, so don't spill it anywhere and try not to inhale the fumes. Anyway, let's see if it works. Oh, and before I use the AirVidox, just to be fair, I'm not against Auto Glim. This is Fast Glass, a different product from them, and I've kept a bottle of this in my cars for years. It's great not only cleaning the glass, but also pretty much the whole interior, streak-free, no residue, and on long journeys when my windscreen gets covered in flies, it's good at removing that also. Firstly, you want to thoroughly clean your car, and not just hoover it out, but wet clean it as well and make sure it's dry, because you don't want this stuff trying to neutralize the odor of chunks of dirt. You want it to get to the odors deep within the fabric. Then we need to mix these together. But firstly, I'm going to take this box. This is the box the product came in. I'm going to put it on the armrest, because that way, just there, that way if I accidentally spill some, it's not going to bleach the interior of my car. I've got some protection. Okay, so here goes. Let's take the lids off. Seems like quite an easy product to use. Put that in there, so the small one goes in the big one. This is 60 millilitres, so I'll fill this up pretty much to the top. There's actually a measuring thing on the side there. Yep, almost to the top for 60 millilitres. There we go. And then pour it in here, close the lid and shake for 30 seconds. Make sure the lid is properly closed before you do this. There we go. Now vigorously shake and count to 30. Okay, I'm getting near 30 seconds now. It's starting to leak out the side. Oh, hang on a minute. Some sort of gas there. And oh yeah, it's dripping out the side there. Okay, I've got it on my fingers. So before I open this, I'm just going to clean up. Be with you for a moment. Okay, I've got some baby wipes just to wipe it down. Oh yeah, it's splurging out the sides, and there's actually gas coming out of that. I'm going to open it and sort of stand back. Maybe don't shake it quite as long as I did. I did 30 seconds. Maybe I shook it just a bit too vigorously. Whoa, yeah, that's like whatever that is. Some sort of, cool, yeah, it smells of chlorine. All right, I'm going to clean this up and then I'll put it in the car. Okay, so I've cleaned it up. It is smoking. It doesn't smell very good. Popping it on the cardboard. I'll put some baby wipes under that as well. Oh, close the door and wait 8 hours. I'm keeping my eye on this at the moment. It's only been in there a couple of minutes. It's smoking, but the yellow, whatever it is, that stuff, it is rising and I don't want it to spill over and damage my car. So I'll just watch it for a few minutes and make sure it doesn't go any higher. I highly recommend using gloves when using this product. It did discolor my fingertips and it took several days before they went back to normal. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes now. The good news is the yellow gel is starting to sink again, but a bit of it has gone over the edge. It's not quite got down to the cardboard yet, but I'm thinking it might do. So I'm going to keep my eye on it, but I'm thinking that even if it does touch the cardboard, I'll probably just leave it and risk it. It might soak through the cardboard and get to the leather armrest underneath. But the car is now filled with this gas. You can see it smoking, so I might just risk sacrificing my armrest so that I don't ruin this treatment. I think it will be okay though. It does appear that it's drooped over the side, but it doesn't seem to be getting any lower. It's been 4 hours now. Some of the videos I found on the internet about this product have recommended leaving it for 4 hours, but the instructions that come with the product say 8 hours overnight. I don't know if overnight is actually important. Lack of sunlight, I don't know. I'm doing it during the day because I don't need the car today. But I'm going to wait the full 8 hours as per the instructions that come with this product. The gel has stopped producing smoke now, but the interior still looks quite smoky. It probably doesn't come across on camera. The gel has gone down quite a bit. It's not as high in the pot, and some of it has spilt over and landed on the cardboard and the baby wipes. Hopefully that doesn't sink through. I'll find out soon. Well, in about 4 hours. It's been 8 hours now. The gel has gone a lighter shade of yellow. There are less bubbles in there. So I need to do the next step, which is to start the engine, put the fan on full and hit recirculation mode. I don't really need to do this because I'm trying to treat the headliner. This is more to treat the air conditioning system as well. But as the gas is inside the car, I may as well do it. but I've got to hold my breath when doing this because you're not supposed to breathe in these fumes. So here goes. First time I've opened the car in 8 hours. So, on. Yeah, I can already smell it a little bit, even though I'm holding my breath. Full fan. Where's recirc? There we go. And close the door. Yeah, it does. I did hold my breath, but it's like an intense swimming pool. Even though I was holding my breath and talking a little bit, my throat, I can still feel it in my throat. Right, now I've got to leave that for 30 minutes. So it's been 30 minutes. So what I need to do is open the doors, turn the engine off, and remove and dispose of the gel. I'm supposed to let it air out for 30 minutes. So another 30 minutes. On, yeah, that, the gas coming out of that isn't pleasant. So I'm gonna hold my breath and remove the gel whilst holding my breath. Try not to spill it, or it's quite solid actually. My armrest looks fine, so that survived. Good. Whoops. Yeah, it hasn't come through the bottom of the cardboard by the looks of things. Now to get rid of this, you have to use an outside tap apparently to wash it away and then just put it in the bin. I'm not going to give you my verdict on whether or not it's worked yet because the smell of chlorine is going to be there probably for a couple of days. Obviously it won't be as strong as that. After half an hour you should be able to use the car apparently, but I know that it will smell of chlorine for a while. So I'm going to wait until the smell of chlorine disappears and see if the smell of cigarettes comes back. That was the 21st of June. This is the 23rd of September and you can probably guess the conclusion. The product actually worked very well. It diminished the smell of cigarettes. On a cold day, I couldn't smell it until I'd been in the car for a couple of hours. Then I could feel it in the back of my throat. But on a warm day, I can still smell it. It's just far less pungent. And the car doesn't feel like mine. I don't really enjoy spending time in here anymore. Although it's better now. The roof lining's out. The smell of chlorine, that did completely vanish after about 2 months, but most of that smell had gone after 3 days. It was just lingering in the background. So I've spent £675 on a new roof line. Now the price has actually gone up since I last inquired. I went to Sayet yesterday to pick it up in my other half's Corolla estate, but it doesn't fit in the boot. The boot's long enough, the boot's much bigger than this boot, but the opening isn't wide enough. So I thought I'd just take the roof liner out. It took me an hour and a half. First time it took me about 4 hours, but now I know what I'm doing, it's quicker. I thought I'd just drive there and put it straight in where it belongs instead of having to transport it. Job done. And it feels like, or should I say it smells a bit like a new car in here. I can't say the product was not a success. It made a significant difference to the point where most people who got in the car didn't know what I was talking about. I'm just fussy, or at least when it comes to cars I am fussy, and I'm very used to this car and it didn't feel right, and I did still feel cigarettes in the back of my throat when I was in the car long enough. And when I use this car I often use it for 2 to 3 hours at a time. So I think it was a success. It wasn't a magical miracle cure, but for the price and how much work you have to do, I recommend the product. I think it's important that I point out that this video is not sponsored. I paid for the product myself. The next job on this car are the intake valves. They need cleaning. Every 60,000 miles or so, they get clogged up. And I know this because about a minute after a cold start, the engine starts to hiccup slightly. It does it for about 10-20 seconds and then it goes away. It happens every 60,000 miles, and the longer I leave it, the worse those hiccups get, to the point where it's hiccuping often. Like not all the time, but it goes through phases where it's having a hiccup during hot days, even not after a cold start, because we'll be driving down the road and it will start doing it. It's not a full-on misfire. And there is a big difference between before and after when I do clean the valves, and the power figures that I did, because I did a power before and after figure on a rolling road, It was about 20 horsepower if I remember, but I did a video on it. I'll leave a link up there. Anyway, this video, if it was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to get my future videos, and until the next one, cheerio.